Once upon a time, there was a delicate rose named Leela who blossomed in a quiet garden. Her petals were soft and vibrant, and her fragrance was a gift to anyone who passed by. But over time, Leela found herself in a world that didn't appreciate her beauty. The people walking through the garden didn't see her worth. It trampled on her without care. Her petals, once bright and full of life, began to wilt. The thorns surrounding her seemed to only bring pain, reminding her of the struggles that she faced. Leela cried out in the stillness, feeling forgotten and broken. The weight of the world had crushed her spirit. She thought, who could love a flower like me, surrounded by thorns and now bruised and battered? One day, a gentle gardener came into the garden. His eyes rested on Leela, and though she had lost much of her former beauty, he saw her in a way no one else did. His name was Jesus. With tenderness, he knelt beside her, his hands gently lifting her from the dirt. Though others had only seen her thorns, he saw the rose beneath the scars. I see you, he whispered. You are not forgotten. I planted you with a purpose, and no amount of trampling can take that away. He began to care for her, watering her roots, trimming away the parts that were damaged, speaking life into her soul. Slowly, under his care, Leela began to heal. Her petals regained their color, and though the thorns remained, she no longer saw them as a sign of her brokenness. Instead, she realized they were part of her strength, protecting her from the world's harshness. Jesus reminded her that even in the midst of her thorns, she was still beautiful. The thorns were not meant to define her, but to remind her that His grace was sufficient in her weakness. As she grew stronger, Leela's beauty became a reflection of the one who had saved her. She stood tall, not because the world had changed, but because her heart had been renewed by Jesus' love. In the end, Leela knew that it was through the pain, the crushing, and the thorns that she had come to understand her true beauty. Jesus had made her whole again, and she bloomed more beautifully than ever, not despite the thorns, but because He had used them to shape her into a rose that could endure. And so, Leela became a living testimony that even when the world tramples upon a woman, Jesus can lift her, heal her, and make her bloom in the midst of the thorns.